The tide is turning. Meghan and Harry collapse with their media crisis. We found some interesting information. It expresses exactly what so many of us think. Thank goodness the tide is turning, and the swell is increasing day by day as more and more people recognize me-go and has-beens hypocrisy. At last, they're being called out by the press, apart from scabies, for their lies and appalling behavior. Frankly, they deserve each other. Let's see what we found out now. A royal expert exclaims, "Are everyone getting on anyone else's tits as much as mine? I'm sick to death of the headline-grabbing, self-important nitwits speaking too much, but saying very little. I just wish they'd absconded for the reasons they claimed at the time, another lie, to live a quiet family life away from the nasty, meaty press." What did we get? Hand grenades were thrown from over the pond with the biggest talk show host in the world, guaranteeing maximum worldwide publicity. Although Defo is not the best host that it would appear, she can strike journalists off her vast and impressive, to be fair, CV. Falsehoods spewing out of Meghan's mouth like the volcano in Palma, and none of them challenged. Not one, not even playing devil's advocate when it came to her father. Thomas Markle publicly took a letter round to Oprah's letterbox, and it popped through the door. Okay, I probably went slightly off point here, but he publicly asked to go on her show for his right of reply, a journalistic term I'm sure you're aware of that basically means your side of the story with equal prominence. She has not responded. At least 17 untruths were fully and transparently proven to be downright lies, with all such bitterness and disdain towards the royal family. Without them, where would she be now? I mean, really. Answers on a postcard, please? She was DMing one of our young, successful pop stars over here. She was so determined to bag a Brit. Suits, the cable show that no one in the UK had ever even heard of, was falling out of its own arse ratings-wise. It's all out there. So what next for Lil Miss Unremarkable? Bag a rich man? Yay, what a girl. That's so empowering. Find me some famous British guy she once asked Lizzie Cundy, a friend to the stars over here in Blighty. Girl, I have a voice, I must be heard. She even met her nemesis, Piers Morgan, for a few bevies in his local pub, trying to hustle her way into British celebrity social scene. Then, hey-ho, hapless Harry comes bounding along like a golden retriever, dribbling over everything, tripping over his tongue, reeking of desperation to get married, and bingo. Curching money with every eye flash flutter, she then ghosted Cundy and Morgan. She'd better think on Halloween is coming up, and by my reckoning, she's pretty much ghosted everyone else already. The rest, as they say, is history. The most awful thing is, unless you're a Brit or have ever lived, loved, or laughed in our great country, you perhaps won't realize how we respect and cherish our royal family with great pride. We also know the rules of etiquette and lineage to the throne, titles, who to and when to curtsy, where to stand, and all the other royal rules, and at least a centuries-year-old customs that need to be respectfully asserted. Daft as some of them are to most, they do bring patriotism along with tradition, and we love all the camp, pomp, and ceremony. That, in my opinion, is what makes us such a unique tiny island. Every country is unique, and ours is unique because of all the fuss and regalia that goes with the institution. I honestly can't think of a more well-respected and greatly admired woman living in the world. She's just breathtaking. When she pledged to give her life over all her subjects, she kept her word. Not one slip up along the way, with the exception of the awful way the firm handled Princess Diana's demise, though I would have thought she would have been heavily leaned on by the men in gray suits. She most definitely made up for it upon her return. I bear Harry and Meghan. Oops, just realized that's also the name of a cheap fashion store in the UK that specializes in nasty nylon, but I digress. No ill whatsoever. I really don't. I wholeheartedly wish them health and inner peace, joy and happiness with their little kids, but I do find it terribly sad for Archie and Lily. I refuse to call her Lilibet, as that's what our queen's affectionate childhood nickname, and everyone did say they were going to refer to her as Lily, so I'm not being mean. A bit like Harry's real name is Henry and Meghan's first name is Rachel. Anyway, I digress again. It's the menopause. It's such a shame. These two little innocents will be brought up with only one grandparent. If that's Doria hasn't been ghosted too. No aunts, nor uncles, no cousins, and no friends, or not many, I would assume. Locked up in that ivory tower without any security, as they expect the U.S. British taxpayers to fund it. Wow, I can't breathe. They're so up their own arses and stuck at the moment. I'm surprised either of them can even breathe. I would trade my car to be privy to their conversations when Kate and Princess stepped out and stole the show at the world premiere of the latest Bond movie. Effortlessly outclassing and shining like the brightest, she took everyone's breath away, and it was glaringly obvious who won that round. Don't forget, it was Meghan who started the PR competition by announcing headlining PR to detract from another royal's duty or birthday or wedding. Yeah, nicely timed baby announcement there, Megs, right on the day of Princess B's wedding. That is some serious bitching right there. No denying that Meghan lovers, and everything goes through their press officers, so they would have known they were invited, for F's sake. So for her to get her comeuppance after that ghastly cover on Slime Time and the subsequent drivel that accompanied it would be a joy to watch. I don't know why, but she brings out the worst in me. Anyway, go quietly, they promised us, and I'm afraid to say they failed to deliver yet again. After the former guy in our U.S. White House blew up every honorable and ethical norm for our entire government and one of our two major political parties, I completely respect and understand the British monarchy's traditions and values. We have a few traditions that hold our fragile government together, and that former guy stomped all over them. Back to Harry and Scary. They represent a hypocritical blend of monarchy with Kardashianism. Doesn't work, like pieces of a shell in a scrambled egg. Like RuPaul's Drag Race, except with a pretend influential nobody and a person born to an important family dressed in an expensive, badly fitting outfit. Put price tags on each photo. Sell kitty photos on the world market to the highest bidders only. Create their own TV channel covering their search for privacy 24/7. Harry becomes as an old bird who earned her stripes of accomplishment in life the hard way. It was at first surprising, then shocking, then outrageous to watch someone with such a sketchy and dysfunctional background use men and women to claw her way up the social ladder, then use her 6-inch Manolos to stomp on anyone who needed to be tampered down, lest her own reflected sunshine, or sacks, be dimmed. I've often wondered about the demographics of her die-hard admirers. Who is left if you subtract hardworking, loyal folks from the Commonwealth? Hardworking and honest achievers in the old-fashioned way around the world. People who find narcissistic people horrific. People of good consciousness who find habitual liars distasteful. Real women who are proud to be so and don't claim on their professional CV. Real activists and philanthropists who have a real message to convey, but got their efforts cloned badly by the duo. Denizens who value quiet and actual privacy in the formerly quiet Montecito town. Ordinary people who had precious tickets for that tennis match who got the boot for her. Ordinary people in New York City who were blocked from their already rushed commute as public resources, police, were used to make way for her motorcade. The list goes on. I'm trying hard to understand who is left. It must be a very special bubble.